or we look okay, and those on the streets is that we are able to come back when we go off. So sometimes we switch and we are able to come back. So when you come back, you ask yourself, did I do this? Or this happened to me. So at that time, your mental health status was not good because you've gone off. So sometimes the least thing can make us go off, something like anger, even traffic. Traffic can make us mentally unstable. You live in somewhere or you be and you have to come here. The traffic. So sometimes you sit in the car, you are so angry that you can't even think clear. You can't think right. It's mental health issue. So what do you do? So just as Doc was explaining mental health, it's a complete well-being of the individual and how the individual is able to cope with stress. So we have so many stresses around us. Somebody say, oh, stress, stress. Stress will be your response to the stressor. So what is your response to the stressor? Stressor can be this traffic situation. Stressor can be Wisconsin and morning lecture, 7:30, you can't sleep. Yes. You come, you have to chase, there's no microphone. The lecturer is talking and you can't hear. Madam, I can't hear. It's a stressor. How are you responding to it? How do you respond to all these stresses? So if you are able to cope and respond to these stresses well, then you are managing your mental health. So there's traffic on your road. How do you cope with it? You have to find a coping mechanism. I have to wake up early, set off early, so that I will do away with the traffic situation. If something is making you angry all the time, you have to find a coping mechanism. There are other stresses or there are stressful events that you can't do away with it. It's part of us. Definitely, there is nothing you can do, so you have to manage it. Like you are not a president that when you are late, there will be a siren for people to clear the road for you. You, when you are late, nobody will mind you. You even go and pick trotro and you'll be late more. You don't even have the money to take Uber. So please, your ability to find coping mechanisms to do away with the stresses will make your mental health status better. So if you don't cope well or you don't find the coping mechanism well, that is why you find issues with mental health. So mental health is not all about the depression, the anxiety, the emotional well-being. Your mindset is also part of it.
Thank you. A round of applause. I think that there are certain questions I would ask both of you. There are others I would ask you separately, just so we can make good use of our time as well. So I think Elizabeth's response eats into the importance of mental health. Now you've broken it down. You're telling us that there's negative and positive. Nege, nege, po, 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 nege. Does it work like that? Now the question is, how important is mental health? Dr. Ando.
It's just like asking how important is life. Yes. We have a brain, okay, that helps us, okay, and we have a body, right, that works with the brain. So mental health, basically, it is that aspect of your life, for me, that is the engine. Okay, you have to have the ability to decide. I am telling you, people have made certain decisions, and like my dear sister was saying, they go back and were like, was it really me who did this? Who made the decision? Sometimes we have done or we have engaged in acts that we wonder how and why we did it. All right? In fact, sometimes it can be so fatal that you take a certain decision. I mean, I work in the area of suicide. Actually, Wendy knows me so much in this area. I spent 4 good years, doing my PhD on suicides. And sometimes when you hear what really are the triggers of why people, do that, you may easily just, rubbish them, insult them. You are just, coward. You are this. But you have no idea. So to the extent that somebody has had an F, and for that reason, I'm going to kill myself. To the extent that somebody wanted to go to medical school and couldn't get admission and killed himself. right? It means that the ability to even make decisions has been impaired. There are some of you, you'll be there one day and you go like, what made me actually say yes to what Kwame's proposal? Because you ask yourself, really, it is a guy I'm going out with. It's like you come back to yourself. So for me, it is so important as to even help us to make decisions in life. And I keep on saying, maybe it's about time we even find a way to assess our people who go into government and even into parliament. Because these are people who make decisions for our lives. And we have people in there who are making such decisions, they themselves have impaired mental health. You can imagine what they are going to decide for you. Imagine a doctor who is to make a decision for your life on the operating table. He's having a certain mental health challenge, and that the decision making will be impaired. You can imagine the outcome. One day I was driving to my hometown, and in fact, those of you who know Cape Coast, I'm from Anomabu. Before I realized I had gotten to Birua, the town after my hometown, I was like, hey, what is happening to me? I was going to my hometown, but I drove past my hometown. Now I was thinking about a lot of things at that moment. So, as my sister said, it's a state of wellness, it's a state of being, where your decisions matter, even your feelings. Can you imagine going for an interview and then a panel, ask you a question, very provocative questions, and that's what I usually do. When I'm on interview panels, I try to ask a provocative question to see how people respond. Then a panel, somebody just asks a question, oh, Kwame, I saw a C or I saw a D on your transcript. I don't think that you went to the university to really learn. You went to just play around. Then you start insulting the person right at the interview panel. Is it normal? Okay, so when our feelings, your feelings will help us to make decisions. When all these are impaired, in fact, you are as good as dead. Because then, you are going to take decisions, you are going to engage in acts that will rather compromise your life very early in life. So for me, it is very key. It is so fundamental that mental health should be prioritized in our life. Because without it, there's no health, there's no life. So it's as important as that.
Thank you, Doug. Now, I would ask Elizabeth a third question, but you work here in the university, and one of the most important things is relationships. Yesterday was Valentine's. Somebody was expecting some show. Be it roses, Momo, iPhone. Yes, iPhone, very important. Dinner. And then there was no show. No show. The number was even switched off, out of coverage area. And then I come to class today. We have a midterm, or we have a test, or we have some readings. My lecturer does not know what I'm going through emotionally. Then he wants to give me assignments on top. And then mistakenly, I gave a rude answer to my lecturer. The lecturer also doesn't understand what I'm going through. Or I also have no idea the stresses my lecturer is dealing with. Now, in our academic pursuits, we have to deal with our emotional well-being and our mental well-being. There's also the social bit about it. We are all going through one thing at a certain point in our lives. Is there a connection? Or they're like two opposite worlds? This will meet this at some point. And then there's a mental health bit, and then there's a relationship bit. Please tell us.
Yeah. First, we have to find out or define relationship. We have so many types of relationship. We have the romantic relationship. We have friendship. That is friend relationship. We have acquaintance relationship. But most of the times when we are talking about relationship, it's about the other one, the romantic and the love one, neglecting the others. And the others too has a contributing factor that makes us mentally unstable. So friendship, you have a friend who this minute she's okay, the next time TV anymore says, yeah, you don't understand. Then you start thinking, where did I go wrong? I didn't do anything to this person, so why the sudden change? You start thinking about it. And these thoughts or these worries will make you mentally unstable. We have acquaintances, we have family relationship. broken home, or maybe it's not a broken home, but they are there, but each one for himself, God for us all. You are coming from a family, you see your mom and your dad there, but there is no relationship. So, you as a child, what is the relationship, or what kind of relationship do you have with your family? Family too can make us mentally unstable. It's another relationship. Then we have course or other. There are some people, they are not your friend, but they are your course mates. Yes. So these people too, how is the relationship like? All these things. Sometimes you see somebody always with the book. You look at this person, hey, so that person is a threat. That person is putting a lot of pressure on you. You know, so you have to know yourself. Can I be like this person? So if you don't know yourself and you are always saying, hey, this person is always with the book, so let me always go and be in the book, with the book. You'll be in the library and you'll be counting the number of people who enter the library at a point in time and those who leave, because you can't pay attention. That is not you. So you have to know yourself, know the kind of relationship that you are in. So we are talking about Vows Day yesterday. Some people were expecting chocolates and they didn't get. The phone was off, not even to talk of Momo. You didn't get anything. Then you start thinking, is this person really there? Or are we in a relationship? So most of the time, the people who come to the clinic with relationship problem, I ask them, what is your expectation? It's because you are expecting something. That is why when it doesn't come, you feel pain or you feel hurt. So if you are not expecting anything, we are in a relationship. Hang go, hang come. This person didn't give you chocolates, but did you bother to give the person chocolates? This person didn't send you a momo, the momo. Did you bother to send one CD? Oh, buy credits with it and call me. Did you do that? So if you are expecting, or your expectation is so much or high, that is why that's when you get hurt. But when there is no expectation and you feel like I can do it, we can make it work, then you will not be hurt. How are you dealing with your friends in your hostel? It's a relationship. Look at where the people are coming from. So behavioral theorists will say that it's an environment that shapes how we do our things or our makeup. Somebody came from a single home or a single room with 6 siblings. So this person doesn't appreciate space. Because there's no space in the house. Where this person is coming from, there's no space. So when you arrange your things and there is space, and your roommates come there, no, you are wasting the space. So something has to be there. And you get angry. If you don't know this person and you don't observe or study this person, every day you get angry and your mental health status will be impeded. So please, let's know the kind of people that we are friends with, the kind of relationship that we are in. What are we contributing and what is the other person bringing on board? Sometimes my students will, Madam, it's not easy. This person will say after washing, after cooking, after this person will say that it's over. But it takes 2 to tango. When the person said, I love you, you said, I love you too. So if this person is saying it's over, you too say it's over. It's over. And find a defense mechanism. You cry, you were not good for me, I was managing you. You will be fine. You will be fine. So please, it takes 2 to tango. You were cooking, but the person too was giving you something. So that person too has given you an investment or has put in something in the relationship. So let's know the kind of people we go out with, the kind of friends we make, how the family system is, so that we will deal with it. Finding a coping mechanism or a strategy is very important. So you might have a good relationship, but how are you going to cope with it? If you don't cope well, that good relationship, it is outsiders that will see that you have a fine relationship, but you yourself, you wouldn't see it. So defense mechanism and coping mechanism is very important when you know your relationship.
Thank you very much. So, thank you. Another round of applause for her. I guess she's spoken, one of the things she touched on early on was knowing your worth. And then also, just a few seconds ago, understanding the backgrounds of the people we relate with. And for me, that's one of my very best coping mechanisms. Because when I see someone act or react in a certain way, the questions I ask myself is, what was the person's upbringing? What's the person's experiences? I mean, what are they going through at this current moment? And that is what makes me less judgmental. Because when I realize that, no, I'm being too hard on this person, or I'm not getting this person or this individual, I go back, reset, and I think you have a better understanding on how to relate with the individual, be it male or female. So, I mean, it's not just about, I can't come and kill myself if you do this, or, I mean, if you want to be like this as a person, be like that. I can't really be bothered. Because, I mean, whatever we do, we need that sense of community. No man is an island. You cannot. I mean, that's why we have schoolmates. That's why we have family. That's why we have friends. So, I mean, aside we also having our own biases, thinking that we should be treated in a certain way, be your neighbor's keeper. You know, and always think ahead. What are they going through? What's their background like? How has it been for them? Doc, now, why are both, Elizabeth has given us a fair understanding, but why are these things very important to our overall well-being? When we say well-being, it looks like well and then being. There's being and there's, is it like the well where we fetch water from? And then human being. So human being and well, or some, what does this really mean?
Yeah, so well-being itself, I mean, we have two different approaches to understanding it. Some may describe well-being as in terms of pleasure, right? Anything at all that I do to satisfy my pleasure may be something that will make me well. But we have realized that some people actually follow pleasure to the extent that sometimes the pleasurable activities they engage in rather even introduces them or exposes them to even mental health challenges. For instance, there are people who find pleasure in beating others. There are people who find pleasure in insulting others. Others find pleasure in what? In gambling. Others find pleasure in what? In drinking, alcohol, marijuana, and all that. But it can also affect their life. So, again, there's a new approach to understanding well-being. And here, this time around, we are looking at not your pleasure alone, but also what you can do to affect society, what you can do to improve the lives of people around you. So this is more virtue-oriented. What are your virtues? Your virtue is what you do to improve your life and also to improve others around you. So well-being now is explained in the second sense, where you seek to improve your own life and also care about people around you, spending a bit of your time and your life to enrich the lives of others. Seeing yourself in a school and then doing something to benefit the school. In your church, how is the church benefiting from you? You can be an usher, you can play the drum, you can actually read the Bible. All these things are things that you do also to enrich the lives of others. So this is what encapsulates well-being in this sense. It is for this reason that WHO now defines mental health as a state of well-being where you can do all this and again also contribute meaningfully to society. Now to the question, what are the importance of the two, right? Well, mental health and then relationship. Yes, I think that Lizzie has said it all. Lizzie has said it all. One of the key buffers of mental health, one of the key protective factors of mental health is what is called social support. Indeed, it is one of the most important, factors that we need to boost our mental health. How do you get social support if you are not connected to people? How do I just come your way to even help, give you money when I don't know you? How do I provide an information for you that will rather open a door for you when I don't know you? In fact, there's a story of a guy who one day just bought Pepsodent and then brush and gave it to somebody who was just a casual friend in his neighborhood. Now, this gift created a problem. Why? I'm not in that relationship with you. So for you to have been able to buy nothing but what, Pepsodent and brush for me, you are telling me something. You are insulting me. Okay? right? So it depends on the relationship we have with someone before you can even provide certain, information or certain, factors or issues. So we all need a relationship in our life because in it we can find one of the key protective factors called social support. Now, there are about 3 different types. We have what is called informational social support. Sometimes you need a friend of yours to provide you an information that can actually open a big door for you. When you're not connected, you can't get information. I'm here in Ghana. I was here in Ghana. A friend just gave me an information that led me to a site that I applied and I got my scholarship to go to Norway. Yes, it was an information I got from someone. At some point in my life, there was something that I was struggling with, okay, health-wise. Somebody provided someone to me who I met, and the person gave me the solution that I needed, okay? So we need people around us who can provide us with those information that will enrich our lives. We also have what is called instrumental support. Sometimes you need money. You need money. Sometimes you are going through a lot of challenges. You need people to come to your aid. If you're not free with me, how can you come and tell me that, John, please give me 50 cedis? You can't. So there are people who must be around us to provide us that support, right? Now, psychologists will tell you that the mere perception that you have people around you who can provide you support in case something adverse happens to you, that alone is a booster for your mental health. You don't need to suffer the condition for you to have the people around, but the mere fact that when something happens to me right now, Kwame is around, Amma is around, Ifya is around, they can always come to my aid. That alone can give you assurances and can also booster your mental health. So we can get all these from relationships. But interestingly, there are also negative social support. We can also have support from people around us that we are connected with that will also not help us. What are some of these supports? Sometimes some information can be negative. You can follow somebody's information and you act on it before you realize it is exposing you to a lot of things that will then become a problem for you. I had a guy who came and told me that there was this, club or cult or what have you. What they do is that they go and learn this internet, cyber something. And now this guy is seriously into cyber crime. Seriously into cyber crime at the level 300. This guy owns 2 houses. This guy owns an apartment that he has given out for rent. And at some point, one of his friends swindled him, defrauded him, and they found it true. And he was rushed to me. It was information that he was given. It was a certain support that he had, which was negative. So mental health and then relationship is so key. However, it depends on the stage of your life. Research is telling us that, indeed, it's not all kinds of relationships that are very beneficial for our mental health. Lizzie has said it. Committed long-term relationships. These are relationships that we can see as what? As being beneficial for us. You must commit yourself to the relationship. You are committed, your partner is also committed. When people find themselves in such a relationship, it's a booster for their mental health. But when you are in a relationship that you are so committed and the other is not committed, you are exposing yourself to a lot of harms. Because he will always do something that will harm you. The time you need him to be around you, he's not there. And one thing no human being expects is that he finds himself in trouble and there will not be anyone to help. So it is so important. We are seeing that for young people, one of the key risk factors for their mental health issues is relationship. And again, it's also because now there's a culture called hook-up culture. Shall we all say it? Hook-up culture. We just get ourselves hooked up to people for reasons best known to us. But we don't get emotionally involved in the relationship. Let me partner Amma just so I can lay her down. That is all that she's interested in. There's no, emotional bonding. There's no emotional involvement. This is something that can really hurt a lot. And again, there's also gender dynamics here. Interestingly, relationships that are not committed relationships, females suffer the more in such relationships. Why? Because for females, interpersonal relationships, are contexts within which they create their identities most because of our socialization, right? They are nurturants. So they care a lot about relationships and they invest a lot into relationships. So they may put so much into it, expecting the guy to also do the same. The guy doesn't do it, and just one day the guy disappoints, the female or the woman or the lady is really, off. So it is a key issue. The two of them are very important, and of course, we need to understand it. And my sister has really outlined quite a lot. At any point in time, we have a relationship with our parents, with our teachers, with our friends, with our roommates. And when we go into romantic relationship, then let us know that every relationship too, there's what we call role identity. Role identity. If I have a relationship with Wendy, Wendy is this, I am this. I built my identity with Wendy because of what I'm doing with her. If I have a relationship with my mother, she is a mother, and her identity, as far as I'm concerned, is the fact that she is my mother. I am also a son. And every role in a relationship comes with expectation. Lizzie has said, I'm expecting my mother to do A, B, C, D. I'm expecting my father to do A, B, C, D. I'm expecting my friend to do A, B, C, D in that relationship. So when we enter into a relationship and these expectations are not met, that is also what creates the problem. But honestly, adolescents and most young people are mostly vulnerable to relationship crisis that in the end impact their mental health.
A round of applause for our panelists. Are we bored? Should we close? We can close right now. Should we close? Are we enjoying it? Are we learning, most importantly? Okay, so we have another real-life story, which is a red diary, and we do have Sairam Dake to read that out. But also, before he does, who are the gentleman and lady who answered my questions early on? The first red diary. Okay, so I have a chocolate for you. Please come for it. In the spirit of Valentine. And where's the gentleman? There's a gentleman there. Great. Let's clap for them. And please, if you have an empty seat right in front of you, kindly move forward, just to make the work of the media team very easy. If there's an empty seat, those at the back, please move forward. Thank you. Sarah.
Dear Red Diaries, I often wonder why people choose to marry if they foresee nothing but misery. My parents' marriage is a total disaster, yet they claim they love each other. I am very happy going back home because our house feels like a war zone most times. I am never happy, sorry. Returning home is always a struggle for me because I can't bear seeing my mom in tears. My siblings and I have urged her to divorce my dad if she's unhappy, but she insists on staying for our sake. It's been ages since I've seen my mother genuinely happy. She's often moody and angry about something. She's always yelling at us for no reason. We don't even spend time together as a family. I think about it a lot, and it's affecting not only my studies, but also my relationships with others. Frankly, I regret being a part of this family. I'm utterly miserable, yet no one seems to notice. If this is the reality of marriage, count me out. I've thought about running away just to catch a break, but also thinking about how that would affect my mom as well. Why can't she fight for herself? I don't know if she's even aware of how this is affecting all of us. I need help.
Thank you, Sarah. A round of applause for Sarah. Who has an answer or a suggestion as to what this person should do? Please, those at the back, kindly move forward. There are empty seats here. There could be some goodies for you. Who knows? Please move forward. Please move forward. Please move forward. Thank you. Hello, sir. Ma'am. Can you move forward? Please move forward. We need to fill the seats in front. Else the pictures will look funny when we share it on social media. Kindly please move forward. Thank you. So who has a suggestion for this person? There's too much toxicity going on at home, and they want their mother. There are seats here. Please come. Hello. Hello. Please move forward. Please move forward. Kindly move forward. Hey, you're in the university, oh. take advantage of these opportunities. So someone can spot your photo and say, I have an opportunity for you. And that's a big one. So when you're asked to take certain responsibilities, please don't shy away from it, okay? Those at the back, kindly move forward. Thank you very much. Thank you. There's somebody there, but there's no one here. So sit here, so that those behind you can move. Thank you. Is that seat filled? Please, those at the back, don't look away. Oh. You're the ones I'm talking to. Kindly move forward, okay? Don't make the work difficult for us. So any response? Ewa, I know you, so I'll bring you the microphone.
Okay, so I think the best approach would be to seek professional help, to get a psychologist to unpack all the things that the person have experienced in their household, because the decision or the kind of wishes they have now is based on their experiences in the past and their household. So there's a need to unpack and deal with it before they can move on. So I think a professional help will be the most important thing for them to do.
A round of applause for him. And the chocolate is yours. Who else? I actually didn't think of that, you know. But sometimes, or most of the time, we have access to a lot of professional help, but we don't take advantage of it. How many of us have ever seen Elizabeth on campus? Who knows Elizabeth? Elizabeth, can you please get up so we see you? How many of us have ever knocked on her door to share a thing or two? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to see her, to have a conversation with her. That's why she's being paid, though. We have to help her earn her keep. Or else you will stress her. It's a stressor if you don't go to her. Do you understand me? Who else has another suggestion? Should the mother leave? Should she stay? Should they have extended family meetings and discuss? Maybe there might be a change. Who else? Thank you. Please mention your name.
Mary Donko.
Can you hear Mary?
Yes.
No, we can't hear you.
Please, I'm Mary Donko. I think the mother should leave. Yes. Because being in a toxic relationship can make her lose her life. And I think she should leave the house for some time with the kids and give the man some space. That's what I think.
Thank you very much. This chocolate is yours. A round of applause for them. Any other person? Before I get our experts to... There's someone here. Okay, Dorcas, I'll give you chocolate, so I know you. All right.
Okay, I think the mother should leave because looking at how toxic the relationship is, if she doesn't leave, it also sets a kind of example for the children to also feel like it's okay to be in a relationship like that. Because if whoever, I don't know whether it's a girl or a boy, but if she also finds a man who treats her that way or she's not happy, she'll be like, okay, my mom stayed in there for the sake of their children, so let me also stay in there for that kind. So I think the mother should leave. And there are single parents out there who are doing very well. So she should just take a boat, maybe find something to do, then move. Fine.
You can go for your chocolates. You go for the chocolates. Nyametiase, dog. At least I was saying nyametiase, be fine. And that's what has been happening over the years. Nyametiase. But nyametiase my wisdom to apply in life. So who would answer first? Elizabeth or Doc? Who wants to go first? Doctors, please come for your chocolate.
Okay.
Let me swap.
Yeah, nyametiase. Ampa. So this family is going through a lot, and they need professional help. That's the best thing so far. That's what can help them at this stage. So if we listen carefully to the story, we realize that there's displacement in the mother's side. So because the father has done something and she can't confront the father or cannot do anything, she displaces her anger on the kids. They've not done anything to her, but she's just displaying her anger on them. Even if they've not done anything wrong, she doesn't see anything good in whatever they do because the source is weak. Something bad is happening somewhere. So displacement is there. And again, this child is saying that if this is all about marriage, then count me out. So she has learned, or he has learned from the family dynamics, and he doesn't see anything good in marriage. So that is why most of the time we say that our current experience or behavior stems out from our past experiences. So if our past experiences are not good or is bad, it influences what we do now. So this person has learned that marriage is all about fights, quarrel, anger, and a whole lot of negative things. So count me out. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this toxic relationship. So count me out. The best thing that can happen to this person is to sit down, look out for his strength or her strength, her weaknesses, whatever she or he has learned from the relationship or the family dynamics. Look out for your strength. What can your strength do to replace the weaknesses that you've learned from the family? And if you know your strength, you know your weaknesses, you can use your strength to fight your weaknesses. And that can help you to get a best coping mechanism in everything that you do. Your mother has made the mistake. Do you also repeat the mistake? Do you also want to be like your mother? No. I once had a case where this child felt like he came from a broken home. So at the university, when she needs money, she will go to the father and say, go to your mother. It's your mother who is, me, I have a lot of university graduates in my family. It's your mother who needs a university graduate. So go to your mother. The mother doesn't have money. Go to your father. So it was this go to your mother, go to your father, go to your mother. That pushed this lady to come to Accra to school because in Kumasi, this lady was not having that right frame of mind to do. Anytime I need something, go to your mother, go to your father. And this lady sat down and said that, no, this thing will not help me. So let me change the school. Came to Accra, and there was nothing like go to your mother. Because she knew that there is nothing back home, she forged ahead, tried to find something to do in Accra, and that helped her. So in this relationship, in the midst of negative, we get positive. That is why we always say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't go through the dark, you wouldn't know your strength. You wouldn't see the positive that you have in you. So in these circumstances, this person can sit down, analyze the strength and weakness, and use the strength to overcome whatever is happening. But the basic line is they need a professional help.
Thank you. Round of applause. Doc.
Yeah, I've married for 14 good years.
Wow.
But one of the things that I've discovered in marriage, and I say that they say we have, is it 7 wonders of the world, or is it 8? Is it 7 or 8? Yes, I always say that marriage is the other wonder, the 8th wonder. You know what? To decide to live with somebody who was trained differently, who comes from a different background, who has a different orientation, to decide to stay with such a person for the rest of your life, it is not an easy decision. So my dear friends, don't let sexual urges push you to take some of these decisions. Emotions are fleeting. You may take a decision and live with somebody because you feel you can't sleep without him. It will go one day.
I can't live
then
without
the reality.
you.
Can't live. The reality will hit you. Now the question is that this woman, didn't she see this trait about a man before she married? Probably she couldn't see it. We got to take our time to study people. We got to take our time, all right, to understand people. And like we saw in the first instance, these behaviors, when we see them in relationship, it will recur in marriage, and it will be worse. And we are seeing it in the second scenario. Unfortunately, the woman has lost her agency. So even though she's suffering, she cannot even come out. Who in his or her right senses may be stepping on what? On a sharp object that is pricking her, and will still be stepping on it. Who? So the moment somebody even loses the power, the willpower to even, overcome something that is what, affecting her negatively, means that the person is losing something very essential. That's what we call just world phenomenon. People sometimes go through oppression, suppression so much to the extent that they even internalize it. They go like me, they accept, they feel it is just okay for a man to just slap a woman. They have endured that for so long that now they have normalized it. And they see it as something that is usual. Right? She has lost the agency, and so she doesn't even see that this is something that she has to get out of. Again, probably also because she has lost agency and she doesn't have really what it takes to also use as some kind of a bargaining, a chip. She feels there are no options around because my children have to be cared for. So maybe it's the children that is keeping her in a marriage. Because when she leaves me, I may not have anybody to take care of my children. Now the question is that if you have empowered yourself as a female, you are working, earning your own salary, can you stay in such an abusive relationship because you want somebody to pay your school fees for your children? Certainly no. You can actually leave, decide that I won't die here and lose my children. I'd rather go out there and then get my own money to take care of my children. Probably she has no power, no means of livelihood. And so she feels the husband must be able to do that. And when the husband leaves her, she can't. So please, it's a whole lot of issues. Again, the girl, if somebody says that my family looks like a war zone, for me, from my background, this is very serious. I will not even let the lady stay there. Nobody wants to live in a war zone. We know what happens in a war zone. This is a place where you cannot really have, a peaceful heart and mind. You can easily die. So it means that she going into a home alone is something that really gives her so much stress. And she feels she can easily die in there. Such a person, if there's a real case, such a person needs help quickly. Just so a solution is found for her, because then it means there's no help in her in the house. Again, we also learn from our parents. Children learn by modeling. My sister has said it. She sees the husband, the father, mother always fighting. Father always beating the wife. Father always beating the wife. So she also grows up. The husband is beating her. It's normal because my mother also endured it. There are two things. Either that experience she's facing at home will make her now become so traumatized that I will not marry again. I will not even marry because all men are so wicked. They are beasts. Because I saw my father, do that to my mother. She will not even open up to marriage. That is one end. Another outcome is that because she's not getting love at home, anybody at all who knows her situation and tries to provide her a little love, a little care, she will fall flat for the person. Okay, So it's a dynamic that is for me very dangerous, and I will always encourage that such a person lives. Sometimes we can resolve these things by starting separation. Go your way, let the woman also go here. For 1 year, stay apart. Let us see whether somebody will change. If after 1 year, nobody is changing, please, you go ahead. Please, the Lord doesn't want anybody to die in marriage.
Thank you, Doc. A round of applause
Certainly.
for Doc. So we have about 3 questions, and then, does anyone have a question? You have a question? Awesome. Do you want to come up here? Or you want me to bring you the microphone? I'm at your service. Which do you want? Should I bring the microphone to you? Are you sure? All right. Provoke. Provoke. Okay.
No, I will not use the word provoke, but I rather will say that you need to find much more about this guy and his temperament. Again, let me say that there's a gender dynamic here. Men externalize depression. When men go through depression, they don't exhibit it the way women do. They can show depression by beating. So when a man is beating a woman in the house, the man himself is going through a problem. Men can sometimes also exhibit depression by engaging in risky behaviors. Substance use, drugs. Sometimes they can even drive their cars in a way you are like, is this man really correct? So that is how, whenever you see a man engaging in things like this, which is unusual of him, it means that there is an underlying issue. Unfortunately, our society says that men should not cry. So something is underlying, something is really hurting him. He cannot open up about it, and so he's exhibiting it. My sister used the word displacing. He's displacing what is internally worrying him on softer targets. The wife is the very first softer target. So if you are with a boyfriend and you are seeing these things, the guy may be having a problem. If you want to help him open up, let the guy go and seek help. But if the guy is insistent, that is Sana Metidia, please advise yourself.
All right, thank you. I have about 10 minutes more, but I have about 3 questions here. So I would kindly ask you to keep it very short for me. Now, one of the things we're doing here is to encourage open conversation. Can you hear me at the back, please? Yes. Okay, awesome. It's encourage open conversations about mental health concerns. That's one of the things we're doing here. Now, for instance, I've participated in today's event, but there's a problem at home. There's a problem in my relationship. How best do I go about encouraging an open conversations on mental health issues? Who would want to answer that? Then I throw the next question to...
The mic is closer to me, so let me answer it. Yes, so how best do I start an open conversation on mental health? In relationship, right? Yes. Very well.
Be it home.
Home, okay.
Family, friends.
Very well, yes. So for me, I will start by saying that let us know each other very well. Let us know each other. In fact, let us first know ourselves that well. I'm the one who is always getting A. Now I'm getting F. What is happening? Ask yourself questions. I mean, it must start from you. Charity begins at it must start from you. I used to like going to church on Sundays, and when I go to church, I'll be dancing my heart out. Now, even going to church, I don't even feel for it again. What is happening? You must always ask the question, why? And then find the solutions to it. Sometimes you may not find the solutions yourself. Please open up about it. Talk to people. Talk to a professional. We have a counselor here, a very good one at that. Open up about that. So when you start from your own end and you know yourself and then you know that certain things are really happening, which you find it difficult to really understand, that is where it begins. Now, when you have been able to now be so frank with yourself, okay, ask questions about yourself, issues that you don't understand, you seek help for it. Then you can also then be able to also see that Kwame that I'm going out with, there are certain things about him that I also feel is atypical. It's not really, usual of him. Why don't I also broach a conversation with him? It takes two to tango. Please, relationship, in fact, relationship is a relational concept. Let me say it. It takes more than, one person to create relationship. You can't say I have a relationship with myself. No. So it takes two to tango. You can't be in a relationship when the other one is not open to you. So you need to to be so open. You need to be so bold to create some of this conversation. Occasionally, Kwame, I think that it's been a very long time, when I saw you, do these things that I see you do. You used to like watching Manchester and Liverpool. I don't know what is happening. Maybe Kwame now has realized that the grades are becoming F. And so now he wants to concentrate. That is a very good reason. But when Kwame is unable to give you very good reasons and he's also not doing anything that will enrich his life, I think that you need to just be open. That Kwame, I think that you need help. I think that you can go and talk to the counselor. I think that you can go and talk to the pastor, right? Please, we need to be each other's keeper. If you don't do that, the person will have an unresolved mental health crisis, and then tomorrow, the thing will just, get so much blown out of proportion, and then you will bear the consequence of it. So I think, Wendy, there is something that must be a basic thing to do. Once you're in a relationship, try to be open about everything, your own life issues, your partner's life issues, and things that mutually affect the two of you.
And importantly, get to know the person's background as well. Now, Elizabeth, what are some of the practical tips for setting healthy boundaries within relationships, ensuring self-care while maintaining connection? Because if you've told me that if I'm in a toxic relationship, I should leave, just leave. And then what happens next? So how do we ensure, what are some of the tips out there for us to learn from, implement, to ensure our very own safety as well?
So in a relationship, we have good habits and bad habits. So the bad habits will be the nagging, the blaming, always complaining, and the rest. So in order to start an open conversation, in the first instance, know yourself and build friendship with the person, irrespective of the relationship that you are set to go in, whether romantic relationship or any other. You need to see your partner as your friend so that you can confide in that person and share your problem. Then, self-care is also important. You need to know your limits. When somebody is crossing the line, you have to know. There are some people, they don't know themselves. So when they are having headache, they will ask for painkiller. But it might be that maybe if you are a lady, your system is changing, you are ovulating, that's why you are having headache. So you don't need painkiller. So the first thing is know yourself and know your boundaries, know the limits. The limits you can take. You can tolerate anything to a certain level. You can't go beyond it. So know your limits. If you know your limits and you realize that, this person is crossing it, then you either withdraw or you just put a stop to it. You don't let the person cross the boundary. Again, in self-care, you need to know what makes you happy. At least, no is a complete statement. No is a complete statement. If you can't, don't say, I will try. No is no. You are tired. You can't kill yourself. So no. And if you are saying no, don't feel guilty that, if I say no, then I will be offending this person or not. No is no. And if you know how to say no, you will not be offended or you will not incur a lot of pain on you. So say no when you have to say no. Don't say I will try by putting a lot of pressure on you. You will be mentally unstable. And again, know what makes you happy. There are some people, they can't even buy yogurt to chill. Yogurt is just 3 cedis. So when you feel like you are up there and you can't do anything, the moment you hear poppy poppy, stop them. Get a chilled yogurt and relax. So please, know your limits, know things that make you happy, know things that keep you going, and you will use that as your strength to survive in the relationship.
Thank you. I mean, apart from getting yogurt there, I think one of the simplest things is to just go for a walk. Clear your head, go for jogging. I mentioned flowers early on. If you can't buy natural flowers, just buy artificial flowers. Place it in your hostel, place it in your room. I mean, it does wonders. So please pay attention to that.
Let me just add just one to it. This is my personal favorite. One other thing you can also do is that decide that on your birthdays, you buy something, okay, to donate to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital or Pantine. You go with a boyfriend. Just do something on your birthday. Even if it's for one patient, just do it. When you come back home, the conversation will start.
Okay, so for our foreign students, Pantine and Accra Psychiatric Hospitals are 2 of the 3 psychiatric hospitals we have in the country. So to make it easier for you to understand what he's saying that when you go there and you gift them, whatever it may be you want to give to them, by the time you're done going through that process or even visiting their wards, you will appreciate life a lot more better. Do we get it? Great. Now for the very last question, I think I'll ask Doctor, and then if you want to chip it in as well, you can, but briefly, what resources are available to individuals And also couples who are seeking support for mental health challenges within their relationship.
Okay.
I mean, now, just so, from my personal experience, I mean, there are counselors online, very good ones, not the, no, I'm sure you understand what I mean. I mean, the thing is, again, what do you use your phones for? Is it just about watching what's happening on social media? There are free tools online when it comes to mental health. There are people you can learn from. So I think you should use your phones wisely. And the internet, don't waste data as well. So Doc, from your professional bits, I mean, I'm not a professional, but these are some of the coping mechanisms for me.
Yeah,
From your
so
bit,
you
what-
just said
what are the
one.
resources?
So one of the resources is data. Okay, so go use your data and go and get very good materials and read about mental health. That is a resource. Your friends can be a good resource for you. Get good friends. Please, where you find yourself in a place where you are not tolerated, please just exit. You don't have to be with some people. Once you know that they are not respecting you, they do not care about you, please just leave. And our churches, our religion is also a resource. For us as Christians, there are quite a lot of things. We go to church to belong. We go to church to pour out our heart to the Lord. We go to church to also make friends, get companions. Sometimes the very scriptures of our religion can also inspire us. All things work together for our good. The Lord is my shepherd. For I know that the sufferings of today are not worth comparing to the glory about to be revealed. You know, my Lord shall provide all my. So all these things are resources that can also help. For me, one of the simplest I've been doing, exercise. Exercise is a very good resource. There are certain neurobiological connection between exercise and mental health. Just do exercise. I also do a lot of hobbies. Okay, sometimes I go out there and also watch Uncle White, watch some drama being shown. Sometimes too, I even watch comedy. In fact, Mr. Bean, if you, I'm one person who likes to watch Mr. Bean a lot. Sometimes even on our own phones, you may have a short video, you just watch it and then you smile or you just laugh about that. So I believe that these are all around us. But you see, it's not all of them that can be a resource. It depends on how we use them. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what is this thing really adding to me? If it is adding something positive to me, it is making me not think too much. They are good resources. But if you also don't use them, they can also become negative resources. So please, they are all over. The resources are all over the place. We just need to identify them. A few I have mentioned, just so we'll be able to appropriate them for our own mental health. Yep.
All right, before you answer, just give me a minute. Do we have anyone who has a question? Okay, one hand up. Any other person? 1, 2. I'm counting out to 5. If nobody raises their hand again, we're closing shortly. So I got to 2, 3. Okay. The second hand up. 4, 5. We are done. So 2 people have 2 questions. So you can start answering, and then I'll get to them with the microphone.
Okay. So what I want to add to Doc's owners, you have to cut off friends that give you negative vibes. So there are some friends, it's just negative energy. When you want to do something and you tell, are you sure you can do it? Can you make it? Every day they are doubting you, they are giving you negative energy. Please cut them off. Don't feel shy, don't feel hurt, don't feel anything. Just cut them off because they are not helping. But if you have a friend or a confidant, there is this friend that you say something to and this person will not do concern with it. Confide in that person, and whenever you are pressed, whenever you are pushed harder, you go to this friend and this friend will give you a listening ear. Trust that person and speak to this person. It's a good resource. It's not every time that you walk to a counselor. It's not every time that you go to somebody that you want to. But your friend who you trust can be a good resource, and cut off those who give you negative vibes.
Okay, so my question is that, is it appropriate to flaunt your relationship lifestyle on social media?
I'll say no. Relationship, it's your relationship. And even when you don't flout it on social media, people will see it because you are a social being. Your friend will get to know of it, so there's no need to broadcast it. There's no need to do anything because the more you make it public or the more you keep talking about it, it will put you in a tight corner. In some instances where you are not getting the positive thing, you are forced to create a scene or you are forced to create a scenario that you will not fit in. It's like you are putting a round peg in a square hole or you're a square peg in a round hole. So I will advise that it's not good. It's not good to do that. Everything, social media, your life will be public. And if the relationship is not successful, what will you do? You will cause a lot of harm to yourself. So I don't think it's a good idea to be a social media person every day. Your secrets will be out there.
My dear sister, I thank you for this question. You know something? I think I would also add my voice to my sister's advice. Please, there's no point. To what end? That everybody will know that I go out. I'm telling you, just one comment from somebody can destroy you. Just one comment from someone who even seeks your downfall of your picture on the social media can just or make your day. We have had people who have had depression, and the reason is that they put a picture there and they didn't get comments as many as their friends. As simple as this. So I personally at some point also was so much into social media, into Facebook and all that. There are times you read comments to your posts, and just one comment can unsettle you. So I don't think we have to expose ourselves to these things. If Kwame loves Amma, if Joseph loves what? Mary, what is the point in just making it the whole world know? If the time is right for you to marry, that will be the main public event that people will come and witness. But for me, the toxicity on social media, as far as relationship is concerned, is huge. Don't do that. Don't do it. And talk to your husband or talk to your boyfriend that you keep it, okay, so modest, so you can enjoy yourself and keep all these, negatives out of it.
I was actually going to introduce you. So since you want to add, please tell us what you do and tell us how many times we can knock on your door when we need you.
Okay, so I'll first answer the question before. Okay, yeah. So I'm answering the question, right? We should be people that, you should be a person that before you take an action, you think about it. What will be the consequences? Why would I want to post my friend on social media? To aim at what? We should also think about how other people around us influence us. We shouldn't just do things because, yeah, that is what is trending, that is what everyone is doing. In fact, before you take a decision, you should ask yourself several questions. Why am I doing it? What do I want to achieve at the end of the day? If you are able to give yourself very good reasons, then go ahead. If not, and with this, it's so clear. It's so clear that, of course, you wouldn't find any good reason in doing that. All right, so my name is Elizabeth. Wisconsin Career and Counseling Unit is where I work, a full-time lecturer as well. The place has been set up for students to come in whenever they have mental health issues, but unfortunately, we don't, it's only few. It's only few people who walk in. So I want us to, in the society in which we live in, I think mental health is now gaining some grounds, and we should try and then work on the way we think. How are you thinking now? In society, most of us think, oh, these are social issues, I can handle it. This is just a normal thing, and it is not well. You are failing your exams. So many things are happening to you. And we are here talking about mental health issues for you to know that your social relations how you feel, how you think is very important. If it is not helping you to progress, in fact, you need help and you need to speak to a counselor. We have people with perceptions. Oh, when I speak to this person, am I not going to be out there? Or how is this person going to see me at the end of the day? Please, we all have to work on the way we think. If you need help, break every stigma and walk freely to the Wisconsin Career and Counseling Unit's graduate block, room 610. We have 603 as well. Because I'm a full-time lecturer, there's been an issue where you come and I wouldn't be around. But there is always, I may not be around, but there is always another room, which is 603. All you need to do is to book. Book, and I'll get back to you, give you the appropriate time in which we'll discuss. So please never hesitate when you need help regarding mental health issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I'm sure very soon you give us a helpline where we can reach you on. That's when it's possible.
Right.
Yes. You have one. So would you want to give us a number? And remember, whatever you share with them is kept between you and the counselor. Nobody is going to share your secrets with anybody. I mean, it's actually against their ethics. So just know that you can always walk in there and have a conversation. If you need help, ask. Please don't keep things to yourself.
So you can reach the units. The line is always active on 0266 779557. 0266 779557. Thank you.
026 0266 779557. I hope you've jotted that down and saved it. How many of us asked questions? I remember you. Who else? Was there someone else? Yourself? Yes. Who else? Who else? I didn't see you asking questions. She has a question. That's the last question I'm taking. All right. Thank you. Please keep it short for me.
Okay, please. My question is, there is this trend on social media whereby two people in a relationship, that's a lady and a guy. So the guy will be like, he's trying the lady, maybe he wants to know if the lady cheats on him or not. So there is this kind of thing that they do that, or maybe he can come and prank the person, saying things that the person didn't do, just to let, like, when someone is saying things that you didn't do and then maybe it's annoying you, you end up acting against it. So the person says those things, bad things to the person, which will make the lady to end up. So sometimes when the person is truly doing it, the person says it and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I did this. But this ends the relationship for them. So I want to know if this is the best thing to do, or maybe there's any other thing.
Thank you. Who's answering?
You know, let us understand relationship. I earlier said that there are rules in relationships. When we assume relationships, we actually put ourselves in a position that comes with a certain role and expectation. Okay? So what governs the relationship is between you and the person. You can only relate with somebody when the two of you have mutually agreed, okay, to certain terms that will define, right, your relationship. If you bring in the social media, you have brought a third party that you don't even know and you can't control. Please, it's as simple as that. When we say people have signed contract, it's between two parties and they agree, you know, to the terms of the contract before they can go ahead and partner. So, same applies to relationship. Once I come and say, I love you, you and I have mutually agreed that we are going to assume certain rules and have certain expectations and then move towards a certain goal. You bring in social media and now you are bringing the whole world into it. Sometimes these parties on social media, you don't even know. And they then can also come in, influence the relationship. It is not wise. It's as simple as that. It is not wise. My sister was saying, the question is that, why are you doing what you are doing? Have you reflected on the consequence of what you are doing? Sometimes there are pranks people do and it just goes overboard. The question is that what is it about and how is it going to work? So please, my friends, if you love your guy so much, if you love your girl so much, protect her. And then just respect her by keeping to her and not allowing others to come in. Social media is a good resource for learning a lot of things. But in relationship, when you bring social media in it, you'll be in trouble.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for our panelists. I'd want to say, once again, a very big thank you to Dr. Andorwatha and our very own Elizabeth. We're so grateful for your time and the knowledge you've shared with us. I know that this is a time well spent, and the insights that have been shared with us will make us prioritize our well-being and our mental health as well. So a round of applause for them once again. And it's now time for the much-awaited and anticipated song from Willie with the Juice. I hope I got that right. Willie with the Juice. A round of applause for him. Although the time is short, I'm sure we'll enjoy what you have for us.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're feeling the red room, say Wisconsin. Yeah. So before I like to proceed, I would like to say a big shout out to the communication department. I really want to appreciate you for this platform. So the first song I'm performing is dedicated to every confident, strong African woman here tonight. And it's titled Ayalolo. So first of all, I'm going to do the freestyle before... Oh, text him if I show. Jina Oi, Kakra, Viva. So let's go. Madam, wait, ube boyum Kakra, Vipacho. So, Madam, baby, chérie, had a grindy daily, man, I get in la Jean, la la, melon, whoa. Yeah, G, she's a stronger woman, African woman. How do you feel the way you do, my coma? Don't you go away. Melon, whoa, yeah, G. Pretty wine, she's a fine wine. She the wine, let me align. Got you, you know. Got you, I lolo. Lolo, ba me, love. So the chorus is, so the chorus goes like this. Aya lolo, ba me, love. So, text me, let's go, boy, you yeah. See. Everybody, let's go, Wisconsin. Chérie, how they find the daily, man, I get in la Jean, la moula, la mel. She's a stronger woman, African woman. How they find the way you do my coma? Don't you go away. Yeah, G, pretty wine, she's a fine wine. Me we wine. Got you, you know. Got everybody. Lolo, Shama, Jojo, Shama. Everybody, let's Lolo, Shama, Jojo. Lolo. Get it, oh baby. La my love, where they worry you are. Why you did them, lady? I they cover you, baby. Nakam, I they give you the tight thing from the to the sundown. She they do anyhow, she won't lock down. For the love me, I get for abundance. Baby girl, lolo, Shama Jojo, Shaba me, Lord. Lolo, yeah. DJ Texan, thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Willie. You should encourage him the more so that when you see him winning international awards, you don't say, this boy was my classmate. Oh. Another round of applause for him.
He shocked you.
All right. I would kindly ask that you don't leave because we have some photos to take shortly, but we would have some closing remarks from the Dean of the School of Communication Studies in the person of Mrs. Baba Kofi. A round of applause for her.
Did you enjoy it? Are you sure? I have an exam question in mind. So let me see my level 300 upper students. Yes. So they ignited this whole conversation about mental health because we did a lot of work on mental health last semester. And it brought out a lot of interesting, ideas. I don't want to be the one standing here giving the closing remarks because I want a woman who led perhaps a 5-member team to make this happen. So I didn't do anything. I didn't run around. I didn't think through the theme, nothing, right? So there was a committee who made this happen, and the committee chair is Dr. Shika Jacobs-Kwashi. Doc. And she was okay, so I'll introduce the committee and then we'll have a short word by the counselor before Doc speaks. She was ably supported by Madame Esi Asantientri, and Sir Christopher. I think he stepped out. -5. Aging him, yes, -5 for him. Yes, and I want to also say thank you to Dorcas at the back. And where is Texan? He's in the studio. Okay, grab him here. Okay, he's taking his fans. And where is Rebecca and Adam? They've been... So they are the team who worked on this. So before Dr. Shika speaks, I'll just give the microphone to Elizabeth.
Right. I just want to add that we have a full-time person at the Career and Counseling Unit. She's Madame Jemima. Madame Jemima. Yes. Yeah, she's a full-time person. And anytime you walk in, she's the one you meet, right? So if you have anything regarding career issues, she will sort you out, internship and so on and so forth. But if it is counseling, kindly speak to her. She will give you a form to complete, after which she will communicate that to me, and I'll get back to you. We communicate, schedule a time, and then we meet. Thank you very much.
Hello, students. Thank you all very much for showing up this evening, very enthusiastically and very participatory. Actually, in our culture, after the head has spoken, nobody else speaks. So once the dean has spoken, even though she's allowed me to speak, I'm not going to say much, but just to thank my superb team, colleagues, AC, Madam AC Pasi. She's mentioned them already. And also for the very strong student support we had, Abena and Texan. We thank you all very much. Mental health is very close to my heart because I don't want to say I live. I think I live with somebody who has mental health issues. Yeah, it's very serious. That's why I was committed to this seminar. But without you, it wouldn't have been possible. So I thank you all for showing up to make it interesting and worthwhile. Those who haven't come this evening have missed a lot. Thanks also to the resource persons. Thanks to the media, and thanks to everybody. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. The next is Catherine Amuzu, who will give us our vote of thanks. Catherine, are you here? A round of applause for Catherine.
Good evening. So I'm Catherine and I'm giving the vote of thanks. A special and honor and gratitude to our Most High God for making this program a success. And then moving on to our guest speakers, Mrs. Elizabeth Yeboah, Dr. John Ando-Atta, we say God richly bless you all. To our elegant Dean, Madam Baba Kofi, we say God richly bless you. And then to the Committee for the Red Conversations, we said Dr. Shika Kwashi, the chair, Mrs. A.C. Asante Echi, Mr. Christopher Ajonyo, Ms. Dorcas John Boatin, we say God richly bless you for all your efforts. And then to the Career and Guardian Counseling, Madam Elizabeth, God richly bless you. To management representatives, to our lecturers, to the media personnel, to all resource persons, and also to the ushers and everybody seated here, we said God richly bless you for your time. And we hope that we will all meet here one day again in good health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to make one last intervention. I think we all forgot to mention a very important person in this whole program, and that is the MC. We haven't thanked her. She's an alumni. She was my student, and I'm proud to see how far she's gone. I'm still a teacher, but she's gone far. So thank you, Wendy. We're happy you are here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for the opportunity to Baba, AC, yourself, Doc. I'm super grateful for the opportunity. And like I would always say, take what your thoughts seriously and network. Their doors are always opened. I wouldn't have been where I am, or some of the opportunities I have been given in life is also through the school. So say thank you to them for me and hug them when you see them. All right then. So we're closing, and we're going to have our closing prayer we'll have that done by Jemima Tamaklo. Jemima.
Shall we all close our eyes? Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you for how far you've brought us. We thank you for your love and care over our life. We pray that you fill us with love and compassion for each other. As we are going home, we ask for your protection and guidance. Father, Lord, we commit the night into your hands. We come against every plan and assignment of the evil one concerning our life. We thank you for all you've done for us. In Jesus' name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Take photos now, so please don't leave. Dorcas, where's Dorcas? Okay, so I think the first one will be done. The first photo is for speakers and the moderator. So that's for the first one. So my panelists, please join me here.